Hey, this is Abel.
Hey, this is Brandon.
And this is
the Abel and Brandon podcast.
We want to thank everybody who's listening to us today.
So please, like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks. Hey, Abel.
Hey, Brandon.
You want to spoil a movie?
What movie you want to spoil, dude?
The whole world is looking for the next Iron Man. I don't know if I can live up to that.
I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone. We have a job to do. You're coming with us?
Can you give that to MJ in case something happens to me?
Nothing's going to happen to you. You got this. Stark made you an Avenger. The world needs that.
Man, dude, this movie was amazing. Did you like this movie?
I love this movie.
Yeah, it was awesome. Brandon even wore his Spider-Man costume.
Yes.
He looked really, really ridiculous. But, hey, he got a lot of comments, too.
Mm-hmm. Bunch of 5-year-olds were going, "Oh my God, Mom, it's Spider-Man!
Oh my God, it's Spider-Man!" Brandon, what were your positives about this movie?
Okay, starting out from the beginning, the way this movie opens up, and it addresses the 5-year gap.
Yeah, the 5-year gap, so it's like... Well, go on, Brandon.
Okay, well, they show a scene of whenever Thanos snaps his finger, but they're at like a pep rally, and then all of a sudden all these kids just start disappearing, and it's like, oh my God.
They even talk about a kid in the movie where he used to be ugly, but after that 5-year gap, he grew up and he was like gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I actually like the opening of that movie too.
Oh yeah, like how they they address the people that died. So it's like Tony Stark.
Yeah, Tony Stark, Black Widow,
Captain America.
Yeah, Captain America. But the crazy thing about it too is I like that transition where the news from the school.
Yeah, I love that. Another thing I loved about this movie, Jake Gyllenhaal, Mysterio. I was really curious of how they were going to handle this. Whenever he gets into Peter's head.
Yeah, exactly, Brandon. He gets into his head like really hardcore in this movie. Mm-hmm. So it's like everything you think Mysterio would do, he did. And they did it a really, really awesome way, man.
I felt like I was reading the comic books again. Like the comic books were coming to life. Or like the old like Nintendo 64 video game. Like, Mysterio gets like huge at one point. Yeah,
that's another thing too, man. I wanted him to get huge. And he did. He kind of didn't, but he did. Mm-hmm. So there's a part to where he's beating the shit out of basically, messing with his head like Brandon was saying. Throwing all these tricks at him, and monologuing too on top of it by whooping his ass,
There's a scene where, like, Mysterio, like, has Spider-Man, like, right in front of Tony Stark's, like, gravesite.
Yeah.
And Tony Stark comes out.
Yeah, and Iron Man shoot.
But he's like a zombie.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Made me think of Marvel Zombies when
That's
they did
what
that.
I think they were, like, hinted at it. I was kind of surprised. I was like, are they going to, like, show Ben Parker for a second? Like, because they're at the gravesite.
Oh, that's what I thought, too. I thought but it was Iron Man. It would have been cool if it was Ben Parker, too.
Yeah.
But then again, I think people would forget about that.
Well, they haven't ever, like, addressed it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But, I loved
I loved everything with that. And the pop at the end, when he's talking to him. Mm-hmm. It's crazy, though, too, because he's doing tricks on Peter, but I felt like he was doing tricks on the audience, too.
Yeah, like, this is stuff, like, whenever, like, back in the day when people saw The Matrix for the first time, and, like, the effects were just so out there, this is how I felt about this movie, like, almost similar to, like, Inception. Like,
yeah.
I've never seen anything like
messing
this.
with your head, like, it's like...
Holy crap.
Like a dream within a dream within a dream, but it's like, oh, I got you. Oh, and then you feel relief, it's like, nah, I got you again.
And the thing is, like, it has to have been CGI, but it just looked so real.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how they did it. It was incredible.
Yeah, there's a part to where he's messing with him. He turns around, he like throws a punch, and the illusion kind of goes away for a minute, and it's a solid concrete wall. Like just messing with him, like just messing with him. Mm-hmm. And also messing with the viewer too.
Yeah, like there's a part where Mysterio, you think it's over. Like you see Nick Fury shoot Mysterio, and you're like, oh, thank God Nick Fury saved the day. But at the same time, you're like, wait, is that the end of Mysterio?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but
nah,
dude, it was just all an illusion.
It's still Mysterio.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't remember what he said to Peter at those moments.
He's like, did you tell anyone else about Quentin Beck and all this stuff? And then Peter's like, yeah, I told MJ, Ned, and He probably told his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after he messes with him, Peter out of nowhere gets hit by a goddamn train.
Yeah.
Which was amazing,
cool.
dude.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But in that sense, I felt like Mysterio was talking. He was obviously talking to Peter, but I felt he was talking to the viewer too.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing all this shit happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing, dude. It was amazing.
Okay, what did you think about Tony Stark giving him those glasses, and it was kind of like Peter kind of taking on the Iron Man mantle and all that crap?
First of all, man, them glasses were sweet, and I'd wear them motherfuckers every day. You act like you would have wore that?
Oh yeah.
Like, why are you wearing glasses? The sun's not even out.
I would get made fun of though. I would not look cool.
Who cares though? You know everything. He's on vacation. Peter's on vacation, and you know they're basically in the beginning of the movie. He's trying to get at MJ. He's trying to get that MJ. That's what he's trying to get, man. Well, anyways, he's trying to get that. He's trying to tell her how he feels.
Yes.
Right. First act, he's trying to get the girl.
Yeah.
So they're in Venice, I believe. And everybody's, going around visiting, exploring basically. And out of nowhere, they call, first of all, in these movies, these creatures, these monsters, they call them elementals. An elemental shows up and it ends up being water. Brandon thought, who did you think it was?
I thought it was going to be Hydro Man.
Hydro Man.
I really did. I was like, are they having Hydro Man? I kind of got like vibes of Spider-Man 3.
Oh.
With Sandman.
Yeah, with Sandman.
Yeah. Another thing I was surprised about was Ned and Betty. I love that.
Oh, them hooking up?
Yeah.
Kinda? Well,
yeah, them dating.
Yeah, them dating. They haven't officially hooked up yet, but he's in
I know,
that
he
process.
showed up in that bathrobe, though. I don't know.
He did. He did. He was trying to get some of that. Yeah. He was trying to get some booty, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that, too. I liked how Happy and Aunt May were kind of dating. I thought that was cool. Okay, we got to talk about the coolest thing they could have done in this film. They brought back J. Jonah Jameson, J.K. Simmons himself.
Yes, from the first and second. Was he in the third movie?
He was in the Sam Raimi
Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire.
And
he was bald.
Yeah, I didn't like that, though. I kind of have a feeling that they just showed up to his house one day with like a green screen. They're like, all right, we got to film this. Come on.
Yeah, we got to film this. Put some cameras on his ass. Hey, where do you work? Where's your workstation at? And then throw a fucking green screen behind him.
And then he's like, what about the wig? And he's like, oh, the hairdresser person didn't show up, so just kind of wing it. But I thought it was really cool. It doesn't really make any sense though, because earlier in the film we find out that the whole multiverse thing is all a lie.
Mysterio, that's basically just one of his tricks that he was playing all along. He made that whole goddamn story up. And you know what's so crazy too? From all the shit that's happened in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you would kind of believe him in a way.
Yeah. No, 100%. 100%. All right, now that we got our positives out of the way, what were your negatives on this film?
All right, so the problems I had with this film were basically really two things. One problem was the references. And the references were for, obviously, Iron Man because he died at Endgame. He died in Endgame, obviously.
Yeah.
I still think it should have been Captain America, but whatever. Tony dies, and they make references in the movie, which is fine, like I said, but it gets to a point to where it's kind of like, man, I didn't need all that.
Yeah, there's a scene with Happy saving Peter. Like, he picks him up in, like, a jet. And there's a moment where it was okay to me. I think you agree.
Yeah, it was okay.
He kind of looks at Peter working on a new suit, and he kind of sees Tony in it. He sees Tony in him.
Yeah.
But then he goes, I'll play some music. And he plays Back in Black.
And,
like, okay,
there's a point to where Happy looks at him.
And
he's just staring. And you know goddamn well he's like, man, if Tony was here right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just no need for all that, man.
That joke was funny, though, where he's like, oh, I love Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, that was good.
Funny.
That was a good little punchline. But at the same time, it's like, I'm here to see a Spider-Man movie. Let me see a Spider-Man movie.
The Iron Man show. This is the Spider-Man Far From Home.
It's kind of like an Iron Man, I guess, Iron Man 3 or Iron Man 2. I think it was Iron Man 2 that when Nick Fury, I think, first showed up and they kept on making references to the Avenger films.
And Iron Man 2?
Yeah, I think it was Iron Man 2 or 3.
Iron Man 2, where the whole movie just felt like a setup film for the Avengers.
Exactly. That's how it kind of like how it made me feel. Because it's reference, and you have this one big kind of long reference, and that's like, come on, man.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Another problem I had with this film was when Spider-Man and Mysterio face off in their little final climactic little battle. I felt like he used his spider sense, but they called it his
Peter Tingle.
His Peter Tingle, which is basically his spider sense.
Yes.
And that's how he ends up beats Mysterio with his spider sense. But to me, I felt like he always had that. Why couldn't he do that at first?
Yeah. Well,
You know?
if he did it at first, though, we wouldn't have the movie.
Well, yeah, obviously, but, I would have been okay with him. So he throws him into another illusion.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter's kind of, in a way, he's still kind of falling for it, but then he gets up, he realizes what he's there to do. He is an Avenger, and he maybe can't live up to Tony Stark, but he knows that he can damn well be right there beside him.
Yeah.
All right, Brandon, what was your negatives?
My negatives were a lot of the same stuff you were saying. I think we should have kind of gotten away from the Avengers stuff. I get the Endgame just happened. That's a big, big movie. And this is like the end of Phase 3. I've noticed it with this film and then Homecoming. Peter Parker's villains, their motivations come from Tony Stark, not Peter Parker. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
These are Peter Parker's villains. They're not Iron Man's villains. They're Peter Parker's.
Yeah, because in the movie, Jake Gyllenhaal, he's somebody who used to work for Stark, wasn't it? Or
he was like trying to sell a product to Stark, and
it's basically Stark. He's an asshole, so he's like, "Hey, man, your technology is basically a piece of crap.
Yeah,
it's only really good for one thing."
Yeah, and that's kind of like what caused him to.
Yeah, and he has a group too that helps him, which they all been affected by Tony, right? I believe. Yeah,
and then like the Vulture in Homecoming, he got his motivations because he lost his job from the destruction of the first Avengers film, and him kind of having
stealing the tech, and basically trying to sell it for basically to make a living. That's really what he was trying to do in that movie.
If they do another Spider-Man film, which they will, which I kind of in a way, I think it ended fine. I think it doesn't really need another one. I honestly.
But they see the thing about it though. They want that money, dude.
They will do another one. I know they will. But it ended perfectly for me.
Okay. Let's address some other things in this movie. What do you think about Samuel L. Jackson? Or, I guess it wasn't Samuel L. Jackson.
The after credit scene, yeah.
I felt like that movie kept on lying to me and lying to me and lying to me,
That was
dude.
one of the things I didn't like about it, was that it was the two characters from Captain Marvel.
Yeah, with the scrolls.
Yeah. Actually, you know what would have been cool? Instead of it being Sam Jackson, the Skrull, you have Sam Jackson driving his car. Turns into Chameleon. He was working with them. Like, he was in on it.
But he got away, though, right?
Yeah, he got away.
He would get away.
Yeah, another thing that they didn't address either was, I thought they were gonna talk about Scorpion and Vulture, because I felt like they were kind of setting up a Sinister Six film, but they didn't even address.
I think that's what the Amazing Spider-Man films tried to do at first, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that shit did not happen.
Yeah. No, I agree. I also didn't like how everyone knows he's Peter Parker now.
Yeah, the crazy thing about that, like, at the end, that's another thing, man. Mysterio playing tricks on you again, man. He made that video before he died to make Peter look bad. Basically spoils Peter Parker's secret that he's Spider-Man. But I felt like they could have just left that shit out and just had him look bad. It's like, hey, Spider-Man is killing me. I'm an innocent person.
They don't even have to have it him at all. It could just be J. Jonah Jameson saying Spider-Man was the cause of all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I wasn't. You know what I mean? I didn't like how... Like, it's one thing that Ned knows. That's fine. Ned knows that he's Spider-Man. It kind of makes for funny kind of...
And then you have Mary Jane. Did you like Mary Jane finding out?
It was okay.
It was okay. See, crazy thing, I'm okay with it, but I kind of wish she did it. Because there's a part where she says, "Are you Spider-Man?" And I feel like Peter was actually kind of convincing her that he wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just flat out says, "Yeah, I'm Spider-Man."
Yeah.
She's like, "Really? Are you fucking serious? I was just playing when I said that shit." You know what I mean? So it's like, all right.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter anyway, because they just, at the very end of the movie, they're like, oh,
Yeah.
he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, man.
Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Would you give somebody Iron Man's glasses that he left behind you? Behind for you?
Okay, if I knew that I could not handle this stuff, I could not be the next Iron Man, I would just say, oh yeah, I cannot be the next Iron Man. I'm going to wait for Thor to come back on Earth. Or I'm going to wait for, I don't know, Falcon to come back, because he's the new, Captain America now.
Yeah.
And then I would have just kept the glasses for, like, a memory of Tony Stark. And I would have just worn them all the time, because they look cool. You know what I mean?
You wouldn't have gave him to Jake Gyllenhaal?
No, because, Pepper Potts is still alive, and he could just say, hey, Pepper, can you make another one of these? Or can y'all get another one of these made and just give them to someone? I want to keep these. Do you know what I mean?
She wouldn't do that, dude. He only knew him for like a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, hey man, you're an awesome superhero. I really don't want to do this because I want to get back to trying to fuck MJ. So here's Tony's glasses. They're yours. You seem like you're more of the man that Tony was than me. I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
And he just gives him sunglasses. And that's another thing. I like that whole scene where he puts on the glasses and he sees him walking away. He's like, yeah, Peter. And then all that shit just starts fading away. Because it was never there in the first place. Yeah, it was awesome, right?
Yeah.
And then he gets up and he's like an arrogant asshole. You know what I'm saying? Toasting to whatnot.
Immediately, I felt like I was reading the comic books again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing, dude. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Would you wear that fistball on your head?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
In the CGI costume that he wore, or the actual superhero
Both.
costume? Both?
Yeah. I love how they kept cutting back to the woman going, do you want me to finish the cape? You want me to finish the cape?
Yeah.
That was funny.
He's like, Spider-Man here, keep
steaming that cape.
Yeah, keep steaming that cape. I'll deal with Spider-Man. So basically, when he gives him the glasses, he takes control of, I guess Tony Stark has a big-ass satellite in the sky with missiles and drones and all that crazy shit. Well, he gets control of it. And that's basically what he uses to, fight off Spider-Man, these little drones. Mm-hmm. And that whole scene to where he's like swinging, destroying drones too on top of it, it was pretty awesome, man.
Speaking of that, what did you think about whenever that kid, Brad, is trying to show MJ the picture of Peter?
Oh, yeah.
And then he's like, I need you to help me get rid of... But, like, the computer misinterprets what he's saying, and they think that he wants to kill Brad.
When really he just wanted to get rid of that text.
Yeah. How did he get rid of the text?
I'm pretty sure they just wiped it.
Well, yeah.
Because them goggles can't do anything. They probably just wiped it. But this moron's like, yeah, can you get rid of him? It's like, yeah, I want you to get rid of him. It's like self or terminating targets. Like, yeah, do that. It's like, wait a minute, no. And then you see the big satellite in the sky shoot down. It looked like a comet at first or something. I thought it was a missile.
Yeah.
But it ended up being a drone in a pod.
Mm-hmm. Now, I love Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio, but I kind of have an idea of who I think would have been better.
Who?
But he's already in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But I would say Jeff Goldblum could have made a fantastic Quentin Beck. Just his voice. He has a very interesting voice. And I think he would have been good.
Oh, man, Jake Gyllenhaal was he was better than what I thought he was going to be in this movie, man.
Oh, no, me too.
He played a good villain.
Mm-hmm. Do you think he dies?
Yeah, I think he's dead, dude.
You think he's dead? You
dead.
don't think they're going to bring him back?
If they were going to do it, that should have been part of the end credits. With another superhero. You know what I mean?
Maybe
or not superhero, another supervillain.
Maybe they weren't sure that he was going to return, like the Jake Gyllenhaal.
I like that. I mean, I didn't think he was going to die because Vulture didn't die.
Yeah.
I'm so used to, like, the Tobey Maguire films where, them villains died at the end. Mm-hmm. Green Goblin got pierced by his own glider, and thus, the Octopus Man, or Doc Ock, he sacrificed himself. He sacrificed himself. He drowned.
Yeah.
But...
well, I mean, Sandman didn't... Well, he got snapped away by Thanos.
Yeah, he got snapped away by Thanos. And Peter's let him go.
Yeah.
it's hilarious to me. It's like, I forgive you. He's like, thank you. And then, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck was that all about?
Yeah.
This is a big thing of sand.
Where does he go?
You know what's another thing? Does he go to the fucking beach? Where there's like a lot of sand? Like I don't know where he goes. Does he go back to his family?
Probably not.
You know,
He probably
because Eddie Brock is dead at this point. We know he ain't going nowhere with that suit. You know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That kind of wraps it up for us today, Brandon.
Yeah, we want to thank everyone for listening to us today. And we also want to give a quick shout out to What If Movie Posters. It's an Instagram page, and the person behind that page has actually made our thumbnails. So please check out their content. It's going to be in our description below.
And if you like what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe.
We are trying to reach 100 subscribers, and if we get to that point, we are going to give away a free $25 gift card to any AMC theater.